All right. So we'll start. So we'll start with that. What are your goals for the main part of the session?
Well, I mean, the worst parts of my play are definitely probably disadvantage. I'm really terrible at disadvantage. I think that's partly due to playing Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah.
It's tough to get out sometimes. That's definitely the worst thing.
Okay.
My advantage is pretty good. I can steal stocks like really early sometimes. I think my timing also needs like in neutral and faking people out in neutral. It's hard to do online. And I barely get to play offline. So I
Yeah,
can
for
move
sure.
the way I want to. So yeah, I think optimizing movement and disadvantage would probably be the two main things.
Okay. You're past like the beginner part of PT.
Yeah, I've been playing him for about a year.
Okay.
I got local like PRs and stuff like that, so I'm not like I'm mid-level.
Okay.
At best.
All right. Okay. So disadvantage and movement for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So I'll just host up an arena and we'll play a couple games. And I'll try and give you some pointers on any habits I see or anything you can work on. And if there's something in specific that I'll see that you're struggling with, we'll hop into a specific like 99 stock match or something, and I'll go through it with you on like certain situations you can do.
Alright, bet.
So, yeah, so I'll host this up right here. Okay, and I'll put the password in here in the chat.
Step into the ring.
And do you want to be playing PT Dittos, or is there a matchup you'd like to work on in specific?
I mean, PT Dittos is probably gonna be the best. I have to play that matchup a lot in my local scene, anyways. So
Okay.
Choose your fighter.
yeah, you're a PT.
Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah, I play PT and Joker.
That'll probably be the best.
Yep.
Maybe we can play Joker as well, but I'm pretty comfortable in that matchup.
Yeah, it's whatever you like.
Ready?
Yeah, so you don't feel forced to talk during the match or anything. If you feel like deafening or muting, it's all like you can go ahead. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm recording the session for myself.
One.
So like,
Go.
anything else plays,
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
I'll be.
that was interesting. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good.
Another thing.
Pokemon Trainer.
Everyone did great!
Advantage is like it's not optimal for getting percent. Like I can get kills really early, like I said, but for getting percent, like when you do that first Squirtle thing, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to tell him. Like that's not something I would think.
Yeah, so like combo wise, you don't know how far you can extend, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, that's fine. We'll play a couple games just so I can see habits. So I'm not gonna base it off one game, you know.
Yeah.
Three, two, one, go!
Squirt out. Squirt out, Squirt. Squirt. Squirt, squirt. Squirt. Squirt.
Ivysaur.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Pokemon Trainer wins.
Yeah, so I think for the advantage at least, you're like lacking, like from what I see, you're just lacking noticing key things that are missing in my disadvantage. And basically, like having a good advantage state, it's not player based in my opinion, or like it's not like, so like I'm a player that's known for having a good advantage state. I will literally touch you regardless of what character I'm on, and I either get 80% or I kill you. I'm just known for that. And from my experience, it's not me that's good at doing combos or anything like that. Like if anything, I have unoptimal combos. But the thing about having a good advantage state, in my opinion, is being able to recognize the fault in the opponent's disadvantage. Being able to notice their habits after getting hit. So if they jump out of hit stun often, how they get off ledge, how they like to recover, if they recover low or high. Little minor things like this, you can basically beat them to the punch, and oftentimes you can catch their jump, or you can hit them in a way that they won't expect you to hit them, and like when they don't expect you to hit them. So like that first stock that we played first game, when I did the Squirtle combo, typically you would see a Squirtle do down throw, down air, back air, and that's it, right? So I was like, okay, the other PTs probably thinks that's the end of the string, but I can probably fit in an extra back air because he's not expecting it. And then I ended up catching your jump, and that was the stock. Things like that. And then there was a time in this game where you hit Leaf into Whip, I think it was, and I ended up at the top right of the screen, and I had to directional air dodge to live. So right there, you already know I don't have an air dodge. So basically, if you want to pressure me off stage, I'm forced to either jump or get hit, because I can't fastball air dodge or anything like that, you know. So it's noticing the really small things in the play that obviously it's quick thinking and you have to see it quickly, and like it comes with experience. But from my experience, it's stuff like that that makes a good advantage state. It's just being able to notice the little minor issues that they have, you know. For your disadvantage so far, it's not too bad. It honestly just looks like standard PT struggling with disadvantage. But I can tell you're a little bit impatient. After you get hit, you tend to try and rush an option, like to get back. And even in neutral, it shows you're a bit impatient. You're always trying to hit first. Like there's times where I'm standing there just walking, and you'll always swing first.
Yeah.
So honestly, like as lame as it is to say, you know, it's a fighting game, and it's a game that's like everyone kind of laughs about on Twitter for like you can just mash and win, which, you know, sometimes it's true. But at highest level of play, like if you're not swinging first and you're playing properly, or like slow tempo, you're like most likely gonna win majority of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially if your reaction time's good, because if you can react to their move, obviously it's harder on Wi-Fi. But if you can react to them and like how they like to play, and like be able to like quickly dash back, dash in, and punish, like it's super good. But if you're constantly hitting moves and they do that to you, then you're just taking percent for no reason, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's just a little bit more patience in both neutral and disadvantage, and that should probably fix like a lot of the issues you're having, especially with PT, you know? Off stage, like when you get hit, you have so many options, you know? Because like, depending on matchup, obviously, so like, let's say you're against, who's a good two-framer? Wolf, right? And like he likes the two-frame with F tilt and down smashes and stuff like that. And he throws you off stage as Charizard. Majority of the time, you're literally gonna want to quick swap over to Ivysaur and recover, just so that you don't get two-frame, you know?
Yeah.
PT has a lot of windows in disadvantage where he has to think like, okay, who do I want to recover as first? Squirtle, Ivy, or Zard? And do I want to recover high? Do I want to recover low? How do I want to get off ledge? And like all these things you kind of have to think of really quick, and it's hard. And you always have to factor in what the opponent's doing, you know, because if they're hunting you off stage, then you have to be ready to jump back or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it comes with experience. So with that, we'll play a little bit more, obviously. But but that's the first couple things I'm noticing. Just a little advice on those.
Alright.
So yeah, so just a bit more patience and noticing things that I'm missing up in disadvantage. Because obviously I'm not perfect at doing this.
2, 1, go!
Squirt. Squirt, squirt. 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 Squirt, squirt. 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 Squirt.
Been there, done that. As I said, been there, done that.
Pokemon trainer, win!
Yeah, it's so fast. It's really hard, yeah. Even me when I played the Ditto, like there's so many times where I just get hit by that and I'm like, oh, he did that. It happens all the time, yeah.
Ready?
There's a reason people complain about Ivysaur.
Yeah, that's grabbing that.
Yeah, we don't get to experience it often, but
Nah, I got so many PTs in my region, you don't even know.
oh yeah. I have like 2 or 3.
3, 2, 1, go!
What? 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 Square up. Square. Square up. What? Square, square. What?
Raids are good.
What?
Okay, it worked out. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, there I knew you were out of percent, so I read the jump.
Pokemon trainer. Win.
Another one of those things of like reading or like getting used to habits. So like Zard's a character that like has 2 jumps, so a lot of PT players when they're on Zard, they'll jump instantly at a hit stun. That's just a common PT habit. Yeah, whereas like Ivy, they'll save their jump for when they want to recover because they want to do tether cancels or anything like that. Squirtle as well, they'll want to do like neutral B cancels. So that's just like character specific habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, any character that has multiple jumps, like Kirby, Meta Knight, etc., like majority of the time they're gonna jump out of hit stun first until you punish them, like often. If you save it for like a killing blow, it's really smart. You can often get really early kills like that. Yeah.
When you do the tether cancels.
Yeah.
Pokemon trainer.
I think so. I'm not too sure. You hit me, so it reset in that specific scenario.
No. Oh wait, yeah, you're right. I'm dumb then. Never mind. I forget I said anything.
There's something I want to say, I forget. It was regarding. Oh yeah. So like regarding being in advantage and like knowing when to push it. It's like you might notice habits and stuff, but sometimes you won't want to punish it. So like I said earlier, characters with multiple jumps, like they would like to jump out of hit stun, but you might not want to punish it off the go, you know? Like, let's say you're playing Wolf, and like at 0% you do like down throw dash attack or whatever his common combo is, right? You're not gonna, like the smart thing after that is to usually do a back air afterwards, right? Because you're reading their jump. But you might not want to do that at 20%, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, he read my jump. Let's not jump anymore, you know? You want to hold it a little bit, maybe for first stock, maybe for second, maybe for third. But yeah, holding it for second is usually what I do, because if you get second kill, like in a 3-stock match, second kill is really important. If you're behind or in front, like second kill is really important, because either you're snowballing or you're coming back. It's an important kill, and being able to get a read to take their second stock really hurts the opponent's mental game, and they have to adjust and like stop doing a habit, which is really hard for most people to do unless they're a pro player, or they have to keep making the mistake, and you keep punishing them for the entirety of the third stock, and you probably get a zero to death, knowing PT. Yeah, so like holding, like even when you're picking up on habits, you don't always want to punish them right away. Obviously, better players are good at only showing like one or two different, like they'll mix it up every time, so they'll never really tell you what their habit is, even though they all have one. But yeah, even once you recognize one, like especially low, mid-level, and like even a lot of high-level players that are like just barely PGR, like all of them, the biggest mistake is showing their hand too early at disadvantage and not mixing it up. And if you catch on to that and you punish that, like I swear to God, the amount of wins that you'll receive off of just punishing the same play every time is actually ridiculous. Yeah, especially PT, because he's such a punishing character, you know. It's like you read a jump, start back, you're dead, or like you read a little recovery, fast fall downer with Ivysaur, dead. You know, there's so many possible things you can do. Like even me, like I'm reading your Squirtle like to go really low, and then like I play Squirtle, so I know how far his jump up B will go. So like once I see you at the absolute limit, I go down with a Nair and it cuts your jump and you're just dead. And like you've gone low every time with Squirtle, even though his jump side B is really good, his jump air dodge to ledge is good, etc. You know. Yeah, air dodge is hella underrated, and I mean it's for a good reason. Like it's really scary off stage because the ledge mechanics in this game just don't work sometimes, and sometimes you just die. But like, yeah, like oftentimes I'll air dodge onto the stage just to be safe. Like, okay, you hit me, I'm back off stage. Like obviously unless I'm not at kill percent. It's like I air dodge onto the ledge, I land on stage, and they're like, okay, let me throw you off stage again. It's like, all right, I'll just rinse and repeat. Like whatever, you miss a punish, and now I'm back on stage. What else is there? Yeah, so when you're pushing your own advantage, it's really important to remember your limits and like how far your character can actually go without being punished. So it's the whole idea of risk versus reward. Obviously, like I'm a player who plays with the idea of make the moves that have the lowest risk and the highest rewards. Like that's literally how I play. I will play to not die, and I will play to kill you early as fuck. Yeah, so like there's often times with Ivysaur, like people will say I'm the most aggressive Ivysaur they've ever seen, and like I have to agree, sorta. It's like probably either me or Pandarian, I don't know. But my Ivysaur is hella aggressive, and it's very like pressure focused, and it's like it gets you in the corner and you're stuck in the corner for like your whole stock until you explode. And the reason I'm able to do that is because I know my limits. So I know, so like there was a sequence there where it's Ivy versus Ivy, and I had you in the corner, and I was just doing full hop Nair, double jump Nair, and I was because I know Ivysaur can't really punish me. Like Ivysaur's a character that has to jump, so if I'm going Nair and he jumps, like he's gonna jump into my Nair, sure. So I know the risk of me getting hit for going for these Nairs are absurdly low unless you hit like a perfect short hop up air, which is like you'd have to time it perfectly and it's really low chance. And then my reward is if you jump into my nair, I get either nair fair, nair whip, etc. You know, or at worst I get you off stage and I reset scenario. And then yeah, so it's just little things like that. Additionally, Squirtle in neutral, I see you're a bit like, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you might be a little bit lost with how to play him in neutral.
Yeah, I can see that. I used to just mash and dash, but now I'm like trying to be patient and like bait things out with like crawling and walking, but it's so hard to precisely move on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously
Yeah, I 100% get it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, like, because when you play slow in neutral, it makes your opponent play slow in neutral. You know, if they're mashing, then like you just win, sure. But once they realize they're losing for mashing, they're gonna stop mashing, right? And a lot of players who are very mashy, they won't know what to do in neutral when they have to walk around or when they have to chase you or whatever. And that's what makes Squirtle so strong, is that he's so small and he's so like fast that people have to chase him. And his burst option of like sliding F tilt and grab and side B and stuff like that are absurdly fast and are so short that majority of characters just can't react and can't punish him. And being able to notice when, like, because you might be like, what I'm doing basically against you is I'm just crawling around and walking. So you're like, so you're under the impression that I can't do anything or that like I'm baiting something. When literally I'm just looking for an opening, and like because Squirtle is moving so slow, you're not ready for when I randomly just dash into you super fast. Yeah, like your brain is just not ready for it. That's why so many players, they just stay outside of burst range against Squirtle. They'll just stay outside of your dash or like outside of your sliding F tilt range, and they'll stay far as possible, and they'll kind of zone you with moves, and like that's the optimal way to beating Squirtle, because he just can't really force himself in well unless you're baiting, and at range it's a lot easier to react to him. It's the same reason why people stay far away from Sonic, because he's so fast, so you need to stand on basically the other side of the stage so you can react to him coming into you fast enough, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously Sonic's a different story, you can just sit in the corner and win, but that's that. But yeah, so literally Squirtle, like, I'm standing there and like just waiting for you to mess up, and then once I see an opening, I just use my burst of speed, because I know you're most of the time not going to be ready for it. And it's literally looking out for the smallest things. Even you just jumping gives me a window of opportunity. Because of how small Squirtle is, my sliding F tilt goes under majority of aerials that every character has. Or even sliding pivot grab, or like run under you pivot grab, that goes against a lot of characters. And like Tweak, when he used to play PT, did that all the time. So literally you jumping, like all I have to do is just run towards you as you're at your apex of your jump. Because majority of characters, like if you're doing short hop in neutral, like you're looking for a landing aerial, probably, you know, like landing fair, landing back air, whatever. And like there's a strict timing to every landing back air, you know, like Joker, if he wants to jump, fast fall back air, or whatever character, like there's a timing, right? Even for Squirtle fair, it's the same kind of thing. So if you quickly run under them as they're jumping, they won't have the reaction time to like quickly be like, oh shit, I need to back air, down air, or like jump away or something, you know, because they're flowcharting in their mind that they have to fair bear. So like literally every time I see you go for short hop landing fair with Squirtle, or like landing whatever you're going, I'm literally just running under you F tilt, or running under you grab. Or even, I'm like, if I know I'm too late, I just run under shield and you fair, and then I shield grab you.
Yeah.
And it's like being able to see the little opportunities like that, and that's how you kind of win neutral with Squirtle, because he's so like, it's really hard and it takes a really long time to get used to, and Wi-Fi makes it absurdly harder. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I get you. Like me, I live, like where I live, there's like basically 5 areas in my city, and I live in the area the furthest from every smasher on the PR. Yeah, so my entire career, my entire life, I can't get offline games unless it's at a local.
Yeah.
So like I've literally learned how to play this character online. So obviously Squirtle is gonna be hard, but it's possible, and it takes time on Wi-Fi, but like you'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
And like what I'm saying now might not be obvious because obviously I'm a good player and I'm not really letting you do a lot of the things I'm saying. Like I obviously you see it from what I'm doing to you.
Yeah.
And like I'm telling you things now, and like obviously you're gonna struggle to try to do them against me because I'm the one saying how to do it. So I'm expecting it, you know. Like it's that whole thing, like master beats student. It's kind of just like, you know, it's the thing. But you'll notice like almost right away, next person you play, if you really pay attention, you'll see all these things I'm saying, as in like their jumps in neutral, or they mash in neutral, and like if you start walking and punishing them, they're gonna start walking, and then you can take advantage of that. Like it's rinse and repeat. Every player I've played against, it happens, except like PGR players and shit, you know. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And then the same thing with the offstage game. If they go and punish you and you mix your things up, they're not gonna know how to punish you. And a lot of the times, a lot of players don't understand risk versus reward, and they'll go off stage with a really high risk and like moderate reward play. And if you dodge it with like switch, or if you just like so many times as Ivysaur, when people come after me off stage because they want to break my tether, I'll literally tether cancel, jump nair, and like they just get hit.
Yeah.
And then their whole plan's ruined. They might lose their stock because they think they're gonna hit you. They might miss tech. You know, and at worst case scenario, it sends them off stage. You recover, and then you get an edge guard on them. There's plenty of situations that like you might not be able to see now against me, but against other players, if you really keep these in mind, you'll definitely be noticing them like more and more often.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say for that. So I guess we can keep playing if that's alright with you. Whatever you want.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. If you have any questions, by the way, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of something to ask.
No, that's no problem.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I get it's a lot of information really quickly, so I'm not expecting you to, you know, memorize everything, but it's good that you're recording it.
2, 1, go!
Yeah. Yeah, just like that. See what I mean by they play slow and they can't react? Yeah, yeah. That sounds like right into my range.
Game.
I'm seeing a lot of things that you're saying though. Like,
Yeah.
Pokemon Trainer.
Everyone did great!
happen, so it's like a bait.
Yeah.
I would usually just. I'm understanding like the range in which I want to do that, because like normally I just
Ready?
jump like a dumbass like 700 times
Yeah.
in neutral just because like I see fucking Tweak do it and I'm like, oh, I guess I have to randomly short up in neutral, but
Oh yeah, Tweak does that all the time. I don't know if you watch
Yeah.
his Wario at all, but like
a little bit.
all he does is like double jump in neutral, and like he'll fade in and
Yeah.
out because of Wario's airspeed. He'll just fade in and out, and like to us it just looks like useless jumping, right? But if you really
Yeah.
play him, you see that it's all just baiting, and like he's wanting you to go under him, and then he just gets falling up air, and it's like, well, there goes your stock. Yeah. Yeah, Tweak's jumping is like even me when I first started like looking at his Squirtle VODs, because like my Squirtle was my weakest link by far before, like when I first started playing PT. Well, okay, it was Zard, but like my Squirtle was still bad.
Yeah.
So like I was watching a lot of Tweak VODs. I was like, okay, how can I improve on my Squirtle, especially in neutral? And I was noticing those same things. I was like, okay, why is he jumping? What the hell is the point of this? And then eventually I started understanding like it's really just starting to slow them down. That's all it is. It's putting them at your pace. And if you notice that they're the type of person that wants to punish your short hops, so like me when I'm going for F tilt on your fairs, a way to counteract that is to just jump, and then as soon as you see me dash, double jump, or like you can do like quick double jumps and kind of weave in and out like that, you know, because then it's gonna make me guess, do I want to read him double jumping or do I want to read him landing fairing me?
Yeah.
You know, especially with Ivy. With Ivy, I tend to do that a lot, where I'll be like jump, I'm baiting as if I'm gonna fair back air, and then I'm like, oh, double jump fair, or like double jump nair or something, you know.
Yeah. What do you think about like when I should play each Pokemon in different states again? Because like the like I feel like I'm moving more towards I'm never trying to approach with Ivy like ever, only in certain matchups where like it's necessary to just force your way in the Grizzly, and like no matter the percent, like I'd rather be trying to play neutral with Squirtle.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, because that turtle dies mad early.
Yeah.
I feel like Ivy neutral when you're trying to get in is just absolutely terrible, but that could just be like a me problem.
Yeah. Basically, it comes down to the matchup. Obviously, depending on what character you're playing, it really changes everything. I'll tell you now, if you're struggling with getting in, your best characters are. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, Flamethrower is definitely like absurdly busted with
Not even for that reason, but it's just like Zard's run speed is the fastest of all the mons. I don't know if you've known that, but he's faster than Squirtle. Yeah. So he's really quick, and he can close the distance absurdly fast. And what makes him so strong when he's approaching is that his shield is obviously no one wants to touch that thing. So you can either, if you know they're gonna mash when you're running at them, you can just run up shield and just like up smash or up B at a shield, right? And get a free punish. But if you know they're scared of your run up shield and they don't want to start doing things, or they want to start grabbing or anything, that opens up a bunch of windows for you to do jump fair, jump land nair, jump flamethrower, like you were saying, even jump roar back here. Run up smash, like I've done run up smash to you a couple times, because I know you don't want to hit my shield, and you're playing Ivysaur at like when I'm at like 90, so McKay's probably looking for grabs, not trying to hit me on shield, so I'm just gonna run up smash. But yeah, Charizard closing the distance on someone, similar to Sonic, is really quick. So a lot of people panic when they see this 500-pound beast running at him.
Yeah.
And like everyone's seen the clips of Zard killing people at 5, so everyone's scared of him for a good reason. Especially when you're at high rage, like dude, you almost have nothing to lose, you know. So it's really you run up and then you have the smash 4 50-50 of am I gonna run up shield or run up hit you?
Yeah.
And like in Smash 4, it was the gimmick of like run up shield or run up grab, run up dash attack, whatever. But like now with sliding F tilts and stuff, Zard is so good at that, you know.
Yeah.
His F tilt kills way too early. It's a bit of a problem, but yeah. But yeah, that's that. Whereas like Ivysaur and Squirtle. Sorry, did you have a question? Sorry.
No, you keep going. I'll ask after.
Okay. So for Ivysaur and Squirtle, again, it depends on the matchup. From my knowledge, or like from my experience, Ivysaur, you don't want to play him to like rely on Razor Leaf. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Razor Leaf is it's kind of like a setup tool to just like put your opponent in like discomfort. It's sort of like a Lucas PK Fire, or like a Snake Grenade. Like it's not really. It has a less impact than those two moves, obviously, but it's like it's not to be used as a projectile that's gonna zone them out like a charge shot. You know.
Yeah.
It's not a move that like you're gonna use and they're gonna be like, shit, I need to stand on the other side of the stage to block this. Like you're gonna throw it and they're either gonna jump over it, or they're gonna run up shield it, or they're gonna get hit by it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's a flowchart.
A bear.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously in some matchups, Razor Leaf ahead, you know? Ganondorf, Donkey Kong, Bowser, like, you know, these are Snake, these are matchups like, dude, spam Razor Leaf for the entire 6 minutes of the match, I don't care. Like, I do the same thing. But in a matchup, especially like a PT Ditto, like when you're against Zard, you were doing Razor Leaf spam and it was pretty fine, because Zard's really tall. So it's hard for him to get through them all, you know? But Squirtle, yeah, I can kind of just shore up over them, I can shield, run up F-tilt them. Basically, Razor Leaf spamming, the reason why a lot of PTs do it is because of pre-patch. You know?
Yeah.
They built that habit up over the first 10 or 8 months or whatever the game was until he got nerfed. So everyone was like, hey, Razor Leaf is unpunishable, this move gives me an up air and up B, center stage, it's broken as hell, people don't punish me, whatever. So people built that habit of spamming it, but in reality, they forgot to factor in that it has a lot more lag now, and the Leaf itself moves a lot slower, or whatever the exact nerfs were. So it's really punishable now, like very. There's a player in my region named Smock, and like he plays Snake or Wolf, and he will literally parry Razor Leaf in front of my face and just run up tilt me a Snake, or run up grab me, or whatever, you know. And especially in a matchup like Snake, like you'd imagine how many Razor Leafs you're throwing. It's really scary to have to deal with a parry up tilt. Yeah, so like Ivysaur, you don't want to play him because of his leaf, but more so you want to play him because of his range. So all these matchups that I said you can spam Razor Leaf, like Snake, Bowser, blah blah blah. Yes, you can spam Razor Leaf, but that's not why Ivysaur is so good in those matchups. What makes Ivysaur such a strong character is his back air and his forward air being absurdly disjointed, and like back air in particular being a multi-hit is almost impossible to parry. There are some players I've played that are really consistent at parrying both hits. It's literally only been 2 players, but it's almost impossible to parry back air. Fair leads into so much, same with back air, like you hit them, you get a combo for free. It's like a free 30 to 40%, maybe even a stock, depending on their DI, you know? These are the moves that define Ivysaur. A lot of people don't realize that, and everyone's like, oh, Ivysaur up air big, Ivysaur down air strong, blah blah blah. But like, in reality, what makes the character so powerful is his back air and his forward air.
Yeah.
Those moves by itself invalidate characters. So that's why I play more of an aggressive Ivysaur, because I will literally stuff these unpunishable hitboxes in your face, and you have to find a way to deal with them, or you lose your stock. And that's how I play Ivysaur. Like, I'm pretty sure you've noticed that already with how we've been playing.
Yeah, I need to space it more similar to you, because like fair you can't do it right up in your face. And
Yeah, and it's weird because fair, like you get the combo off the inside hit, but the spaced hit is better for pressure, so it's kind of weird. Basically, like I do spaced fairs, but if I know I'm gonna hit it, I'll go for the deep, like inside one, and I'll probably get punished for it if I mess it up. But like you only go for the non-spaced ones when you're confident you're gonna hit them, you know. And back air is so forgiving. Like you can do back air spot dodge against most characters.
yeah, that's like -5.
Yeah, it's really good. So that's what I have to say about Ivysaur, because you're saying about Razor Leaf and stuff like that. Whereas, yeah, so that was Zard, Ivy, and then I don't know what you said about Squirtle again.
I don't remember. I think no, it was just Ivy.
Oh, yeah, it was something along the lines like of like playing the turtle at Hypersense or not.
Yeah.
Again, it's really matchup dependent. A lot of matchups like Fox, Fox, Joker, blah blah blah. Like those are matchups where like Ivysaur's near unusable, just because of the opponent's frame data, and like they can, as I was saying, they can close the distance on Razor Leaf really well, and then Ivysaur's close quarter combat isn't very good. So you really want to play Squirtle until like kill percent, and then make your way over to Zard in a lot of those matchups, because Zard and Squirtle play very similarly. They're very, very similar characters, bar obviously Squirtle has combos, Zard has kill power. That's like the main difference between them, but in the way you want to play with them, the way you want to bait with them, the way you want to approach and all that, it's very, very similar. And like, I don't know if you noticed that already, but if not, you'll notice it after a couple games that like Zard and Squirtle play almost identical.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and like Zard at high percent, even if you're getting hit a lot, man, like you're gonna kill them first probably.
Yeah, I've realized that a lot of my playstyle is spending like 50% trying to get out of disadvantage, and then I grab them once and then they die after like 2 interactions.
Yeah, and that's why people think PT's like top 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing. Like Squirtle, yes, he dies early, but I mean, there are literally people in this game that main Pichu, you know,
Yeah.
and they win tournaments. So
it's hard to hit him.
yeah, that's the thing.
Meta, I'll play Squirtle to like
Exactly.
They're not gonna matter.
Exactly. That's the thing. When you're Squirtle at high percent, yes, you die early, and in some matchups, like Snake, for example, hell no, you're not playing Squirtle at high percent, you know, because you can't dodge an up tilt, you can't dodge dash attack or C4 or blah blah blah, you know. Like there are just certain matchups that obviously Squirtle at high percent is a no-go because he just can't maneuver around the moves that they're throwing out. Samus is one of those characters, you know, stuff like that. But then you have characters like Bayonetta who can't touch Squirtle, so at high percent you can kind of play him and like be at near no risk of dying, and if you touch them, they're off stage and your edge guarding his Squirtle is ridiculous. You can always swap to Ivy to extend it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's what playing Squirtle at high percent is really good, is you can always swap to Ivy or Zard right after, and like kind of threaten them with a max rage Zard or a max rage Ivy instantly, you know. Yeah, Squirtle at high percent is very, very matchup dependent, and it really just comes down to, yes, I'm at 200, but how are you gonna kill me?
Yeah.
And if the answer to how you're gonna kill me is like obvious moves, then you can play around them, you know. Like a Sonic, for example, at high percent, all he's gonna hit you with is like back throw as ledge, F smash, back air, and like that's it. And those are all moves that you can just stick center stage, like don't get grabbed on ledge, and just like shield when you see him going for back airs or stuff. Obviously, saying it is easier than doing it, but there's a bunch of characters that are like that where they only have a couple moves that they want to kill you with, and Squirtle is very easy that you can maneuver around them. So in matchups like those, you want to play Squirtle later percents, maybe even Zard, because again, it's a similar fashion where like, yes, I'll get hit by this, but I'll live. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that's my answer for that.
Alright, yeah. Something like frame data specific, I don't know if you'll know, but I see people just nair on shield with Zard and like not get punished, but I feel like I get punished a lot.
Yeah.
Not even like they're reading my options, but like it's just a raw, unsafe move. So like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if I'm not fast falling and doing the nair like late or early enough, or hitting it with the right hitbox, because I know like there's a bunch of different hitboxes on it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what's the most safe way to nair on someone's shield?
Okay, we're gonna hop in a game for this. Funnily enough, I wonder the same thing every day. I must say my Zard is like lacking compared to my other two, but it gets the job done, obviously. But yeah, I also don't understand why my Nair gets punished, but other people's don't. But over time, I've come to understand that it has to do with the fear you're putting into the opponent, you know?
Yeah.
So, do a Nair for like how you would do it typically. Yeah, okay, so you do know the timing. Or however it is on this meetup. Yeah.
I'll usually be doing it like in the
So there's a PT player in my region who plays Zard a lot, and he does Nair, and like people know him because when he hits Nair at like 50, he'll go for Flare Blitz as a tech chase, you know?
Yeah, I do that often as well.
Yeah, he goes for it very often, and people understand that. So when people see him Nairing, they get out the way.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to have anything to do with that. So, and they won't even, in their mind, they'll just see the image of Nair Flare Blitz and they'll run away. They don't even think about like, wait, this Nair just is punishable, you know?
Yeah.
And that tends to work against lower level players and not the highest level players. Because highest level will be like, oh, Nair, easy grab, or whatever. But a lot of it comes down to fear and conditioning, I feel. Because you can do things like Tomahawk with Zard, which is really underutilized. Zard's Tomahawk is actually really good. Yeah, he falls actually really fast into the heavy. So mixing in things like Tomahawks, run up Nairs, even run up air, I tend to do a lot, like run up falling up air. Because if you're shielding right now, like I can kind of just do this and it hits and it's stupid. Like that move is so underutilized. It's really strong. Yeah, it does like 20 or something, and it combos at certain percents. It kills at higher percents. It's a really good move. So conditioning people into throwing out different moves and like even throwing out like spaced back airs on their shield.
Yeah.
They're not gonna want to. They can't punish back air, you know. So yeah. So when it's literally impossible if you get a tipper back air on the shield. Yeah, like the amount of shield stun and stuff, like they're just not going to. So if you're hitting them with that, and then like that one off chance that you go for a Nair, you know, they're kind of conditioned being like, oh, back air can't punish, back air can't punish, oh, Nair, oh, I'm late, I can't punish it anymore, you know.
Okay.
Like it really is conditioning, especially on Wi-Fi. Conditioning is actually broken because people play so flowchart and like can't react, so they'll kind of like, from my experience, like people on Wi-Fi, they just play off of reads. And they're like, oh, I think he's gonna Nair me, therefore I'll be ready to grab it. Or like, I think he's gonna back air me, so I'm just not gonna do anything. So when you back air him 100 times, and then you Nair, like they're not gonna be ready for it. But yeah, that's kind of the basis for Nair. Like, it's really just a mix-up thing. Because yes, it's not safe. Like, I don't think there's a world where it will be safe and should be safe. Yeah, obviously there is this auto cancel-ish kind of height, or like not auto cancel, but like it has lower lag or whatever, and like it can combo on some characters or whatever. But it's still unsafe, and it always will be. A lot of the time, like if people aren't punishing it, that's just because they're making a mistake. And if you're wondering why they're making a mistake, it's often because of fear and conditioning, and people are just forcing them to make mistakes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I know Tweak with Zard, he will literally mix in like jump back air on platforms into falling back air, and like it just creates a wall of like you can't walk here. You know? And it's hard to get down, but because like sometimes you'll get F2 or something. Fair. But yeah. But it's definitely a thing that you can put in, and like there's even clips of him where like he'll do this for a whole stock and then like randomly just run up there or run up fair or something. Yeah, exactly. So it's the littlest things like that that will make people just not ready for the Nair, and then you get your reward. Obviously, spot dodge doesn't play with that, you know. Nair, spot dodge, like you're gonna that a lot of people will try and grab you, and if they're like a tad late, then spot dodge will get them. But yeah.
I struggle a lot with targets. Are there any like little tricks that I like bait with like jumps? Not with jumps.
Yeah.
I like bait with jumps, but I feel like it's just really hard. I guess that's just
Yeah, I mean it's the idea of a heavyweight in Smash, but luckily he has 2 jumps, of course. So like mixing up those, whether you're gonna save them and then swap to Squirtle, or you're gonna, you know, use them to kind of maneuver things like getting off the ledge like this, or like you know how to do it. I've seen you do it already. Yeah. There's plenty of ways like that. Heavies in this game got an indirect buff because of air dodge. You can do fastball air dodge and you land like a truck and have like no lag. Yeah, so like spending your jumps up here and then like, yeah, spending your jumps up there and then like quickly going like this, like if you're stuck in the air, it just, like why am I invincible throughout this entire time of falling, you know? Like this is stale air dodge, I'm invincible throughout the entire time. And then I land with near 0 lag. So that's like the #1 thing that heavies will spam nowadays. I know Tweak does this all the time on Zard. You don't want to spam it, of course. Not even because of stale, but just it can get predictable. If they read this, they can just grab you when you land or whatever. But yeah, honestly, it's Zard in. It's a fat character in disadvantage. There's not much I can say about it. Luckily, Zard has really good range, so there's been times where like we play and like I'm fighting off stage basically, like with this, and then I'll recover, or like I'll throw out nairs while I'm recovering, or fairs or something, or like I'll get thrown off stage, I flamethrower, and then I'll jump back, stuff like that. Just basically sending them a message of like you can't come in my zone, and then you're able to get to ledge safely. A lot of characters don't want to edge guard Zard for that reason. It just has so much space, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like kind of send them a message, you know.
For sure. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then getting off the ledge obviously is gonna be hard if you're fat. Yeah.
I have my little gimmicky options, but that's just
yeah. It really just comes down to picking the right option when he messes up. A lot of the time, getting off ledge with Zard is just patience and like seeing them mess up, and you get your own get up option. Because there's obviously a get up option that beats. So like there's a way to beat every get up option, right?
Yeah.
And there's a get up option that beats every option that beats every get up option. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, if they're reading a jump and like they go for jump something, you can just roll, or you can get up attack them as they're landing because they can shield. You know, so figuring out these little things you can do to get off ledge and like waiting for them and being patient is really smart. And obviously, if you're being patient, they might start looking for like you just hanging on ledge, and they might start hitting that, so you can get up attack, stuff like that. And it really just comes down to every match is going to be different for that. Every player edge guards differently and stuff like that. So I can't really go in depth in that because that's pretty.
Yeah, I got you.
It's pretty experience based, but yeah, especially with Zard, it just comes down to understanding that whole rock paper scissors game off stage or like on ledge. Because Zard is going to be on ledge for a long time.
Yeah, you can live, but it's definitely the mental.
Yeah, it's just how exactly. You can't get flustered in disadvantage SPT because people will call your switches out, people will punish you for jumping, people will blah blah blah. So you really just can't get flustered, and you have to, you know, stick to the game plan and just keep making the right decisions. Because like one bad switch, like let's say you lose your stock for a bad switch, like you feel like shit, right? You know. And that's what I was saying earlier, when like if you take their second stock with a read, they're gonna feel shit for third stock. It's that same kind of thing. It's like you can't get flustered if you get red on a switch or anything like that, you know? But yeah, that's basically that for Zard. Zard's interesting in that regard. Really getting used to the timing on your armor on your up is also important.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know frame data. I just know the timing of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Zard's armor, like a lot of players. So like the way I was going off stage against your Squirtle and like naring you or whatever, a lot of players will actually do that against Zard, and they'll cut his jump or his second jump or something like that, and they'll like basically make it so that you just can't recover, because there's an angle that Zard just like can't flare blitz and can't up B. You know, it's like that bottom angle. Especially if he doesn't have jumps, you know. So when people know you're gonna go low and you can't flare blitz, they'll go and take your jumps. And being able to recognize they're gonna do that and then armor through it is like ridiculously good. So that's like one thing to get out of disadvantage if they're really harassing you off stage, is like getting used to remembering that your up B has armor. And even if you're able to jump high enough to the point where Squirtle up B can reach, you can even switch through their moves and then swap to Squirtle up B. I've done that plenty. But yeah, so that's the answer for that, I'd say.
Okay.
So any other questions?
I mean, that seems to be it. Probably. You covered basically everything I need, honestly. It's very informative.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch again.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So
Stuff to implement and stuff.
yeah, that's the goal, hopefully.
Oh. Counter picks.
Oh yes.
If we could just go over this like really quickly, I know.
In terms of stages, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just have no fucking clue what stage to pick ever. Like, against zoners, like, I'm starting to want to go to like FD, which sounds ridiculous, but
No, that's the right pick.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah, because in a zoner matchup, Ivysaur is gonna lose 9 times out of 10, right?
literally.
People say FD is PT's worst stage, and again, it's because of the
I
patch.
used to think that.
Yeah, again, it's because of the patch that people say that. Because people lump the word PT as Ivysaur. You know, pre-patch, everyone, when they thought of PT, they thought of Ivysaur, and like they forgot the other two existed. And like Ivysaur obviously doesn't get platform extensions on FD, so it's his worst stage.
Yeah.
But a stage like FD is literally godlike for a character like Squirtle or Charizard.
Yeah.
So in zoner matchups where you're gonna be playing a lot of Squirtle and Zard, FD's a great pick.
Yeah, I used to pick like fucking triplats against like Belmonts, and I just don't understand why it wasn't working. But...
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm picking Squirtle on triplats.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, because you're not gonna be playing Ivy against Belmont for the most part, you know.
What do you think of small battlefield? 'Cause I mean, obviously Ivy has like broken shit on it.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, I haven't played in a tournament where it's legal. Because lately I haven't been entering any Wi-Fi events, but
yeah.
from my experience playing on the stage, whenever I have people over or whenever I play quick play on the off chance, it seems like a very powerful stage for us. Potentially top 3. Like, it basically gives us PS2 with a better platform for us, and the blast zones are wider for us. Like,
yeah, I find myself doing that a lot. What do you think of like Town? Because like Town is sometimes like I think about picking against like Rob, but I feel like my philosophy with it is PT, like, they can recover the distance, so like why would I not give myself the opportunity to recover distance-wise if I die, or you know what I mean? Like, if I die early, I don't have an opportunity to recover distance-wise, but if I'm playing, like, a character with a shitty recovery, they don't have an opportunity to recover distance-wise, so the bigness of, like, the recovery zone, if you know what I mean? Like, between the blast zone and the stage.
yeah.
It's small. I don't know, but I feel like I might want to pick it more.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know. Personally, I'm a fan of Town. I'm unsure if it's because of PT or if it's because the way I play. Like, since Smash 4, Town has been my favorite stage. So, I'm kind of just comfortable on it.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those, like, PT map-wise, like, counterpick-wise, as a general statement, is very matchup-wise. Very matchup-dependent.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I can tell you, first and foremost, his best stages is Smashville, 100%,
Yeah, I could see that.
because it's super small range, so people can't stand outside of Squirtle's burst range, like I was telling you before.
Mhm.
It's sort of small blast zone, so you can kill people early, and like Zard still lives long on it. The platform is at a good height that Zard can pressure with up smash, stuff like that. Ivysaur obviously gets his upper strings on that stage, and the platform covers such a big area on the stage as Ivy can kind of sit on there and drop down back air, drop down fair spam until he wins. So to me, that's like undisputed number one best stage for PT. And like
Okay.
people often say triplats, but I think that one is number one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then after that being triplats.
Okay.
Because Zard and Squirtle obviously do benefit on triplats, but Ivysaur is a whole nother character on that stage. You know,
Yeah.
he
That's
if put in the right situation, he will kill you at 20%. You know.
Yeah.
So, and obviously it's matchup dependent. So like I'm saying these stages are the best, but like you're saying against
Yeah, like,
Belmont, you're not
play-
gonna want to go Battlefield.
No, I don't wanna go Battlefield,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
because Squirtle, yes, does get combo extensions on platform sometimes. Zard does have a lot of room to recover, can flare blitz high, you know, stuff like that. There's a bunch of benefits for those characters, but does it really outweigh having to fight Belmont on his best stage? Or
Yeah.
Samus, or whatever, you know?
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, so again, it is really matchup dependent. I must say, I think every stage is good for him, except maybe Kalos.
Really, that's an interesting thought, but I could see that.
It might just be me.
I like the flatness for like playing just hard neutral with Squirtle, and I like the platform on the side.
Yeah,
But the wall is mad annoying for Ivy, and I don't know. I just think Town might be a better pick.
yeah. I think Kalos is one of Squirrel's best stages.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's the flatness that he loves. He can sit on that platform really, really well. And a lot of people don't abuse it enough. Tweak does it all the time, except I don't think I've ever seen him do it in a tournament. Where he will sit on the wall with Squirtle against certain characters. Even on Yoshi's story, he'll do it. And, like,
Yeah.
against certain characters, they actually just can't punish you. And
Yeah, you
if
can
they,
kinda chill there a
yeah,
little bit.
like, the first time he tried it against me, I literally just sat there and I couldn't do anything, and he would just grab ledge, swap, and like reset the situation, get back onto Squirtle, go back onto the corner, go to ledge, go on the corner, go on the ledge, go on the wall. Like he would just rinse and repeat, and I either had to stand there, or I'd go fight him, and it's like, okay, I go fight him, and then he just wall jumps and either goes back on stage, and now I'm off stage against him, or he would like nair me as Squirtle, or like footstool me or something. And it's like, oh, there goes my stock at like 10, you know? So it's definitely hard to use. I've only done it against like a couple people, and it's won me like maybe 2 sets. But Kalos and Yoshi's are definitely good for Squirtle for that reason. Like walls are really good for him. It's underexplored in my opinion in the PT meta.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to pull off, and it's matchup dependent. But I think my favorite word today explaining PT is matchup dependent. So it's obviously good.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of stuff that I gotta figure out for myself.
Yeah, yeah. PT is so, like, I'll say it again. He's matchup dependent. Like every matchup, he has to change how he plays and which Pokemon he plays, and
3 characters, so it's kind of
yeah,
that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. And again, that's why I don't see him as like a top 5 threat. I do have him like maybe top 10, top 12 area, but I don't see him as a top 5 threat because it's like there are matchups where I'm limited to playing 2 characters. Or maybe 1 character. So like, for example, versus like Zero Suit, you know, you're almost limited to like Squirtle and only Squirtle and maybe Charizard for like 20%. You know. So it's like I'm limited to playing Squirtle, who is not built to kill, and is not built to survive. So I have to play near perfectly, or I die, or I don't get a kill, and that's why I personally don't see him in top 5, but. But yeah, so it's very matchup dependent. But yeah, back to stages. So Smashville at the top, Triplats are right there. Then after, probably either Lilat Town.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Lylat is like a thing.
Yeah, people don't like Lylat, and like I get it. It's a wonky stage. Things happen.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, PS2 as well. In those like PS2 Town and
Yeah.
Lylat, I'll have Clump there.
PS2.
Yeah, I mean who isn't? Yeah. So Lylat, it's unexplored by many players, but like it is definitely good. It's another triplat, of course. The slants are absurdly dumb for Squirtle. He should not be allowed to crawl on that corner.
Yeah.
It is dumb. You can kind of play how I was playing, except in a corner, and if they come too close, you just burst range them.
Mm.
It's and like you dodge projectiles. It's really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not enough players abuse Lylat for what it is. I know
Mhm.
Esan does it all the time on Pikachu, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Smashville, Triplats, and then PS2 Town Lylat all together. And then yeah, probably at the bottom Kalos, but it's like not far behind, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it might just be me not liking Kalos, because there are PT players. I know Pandarian has a love for Kalos.
Yeah.
There are PT players that
There's
enjoy
a-
the stage. It's
I-
just
I do like
me
the stage.
me personally, I don't think it's
Mhm.
like it's not bad, but I don't think it's better than
Yeah, it's
another
not, like,
stage pick.
Not like top.
Yeah.
stage pick or
I don't
anything.
think it's better than another stage, and it's very matchup dependent. Same with FD, I have lumped with Kalos down there. It's kind of like, yes, it's our worst stage, but it's
not
usable,
terrible.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also play Joker. I was wondering what matchups you play them for, because I feel like I can solo PT, but I think it's also worth it to explore other options, because like some characters, even if we don't win, I just
Yeah.
like I
They're just
don't
annoying.
want to fucking play against
They're
them.
annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically why I play Joker. Is like for the matchups that PT goes like even or like annoyingly winning with,
Yeah.
I'll probably go Joker for them.
So like I assume Young Link probably.
Yeah, that's oh god, Young Link I think is PT's worst matchup. Free.
Really.
I 100%. I think
Yeah.
it might be -2, probably only -1, but yeah, I think Young
I-
Link is PT's worst matchup.
I do not fuck with Pikachu.
Yeah,
against PT. I
yeah.
am very clueless.
on paper Pikachu should shit on PT, but like every Pika sucks at the matchup, so PT just wins for some reason. Like I have it labeled as losing obviously, but
Yeah.
for some reason I'm able to beat Pikachu's because they just died as art or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. That's like doable. I don't know how to deal with fucking Thunder Jolt, but
Oh.
uh,
Arena shut down.
yeah.
It's fine. We can keep chatting by the way. I have time, so it's all good.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I keep looking at the clock. I'm like, I'm taking up too much of this. man's
No,
time.
it's all good.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I'm really. Yeah, Pika. I like. There are some characters that just make me want to get a secondary, so I can just deal with them and not have to be bothered and like, because like the way I look at tournaments is like, if I have to play a game 5 cent against like a fucking Belmont or something, and I like even if
Yep.
I win
Yep.
after going through that stress, like I'm losing the next set free.
Yeah. Like
Like,
there
it's
are
too
even
much
there are
stress.
even low tiers that PT beats that I will swap off for.
Yeah,
Like Donkey Kong, you know?
really.
Like I'll either go Joker or MK. Like I don't want to
Yeah, there's some of them I just don't want to fucking deal with you, dude.
yeah.
I don't know. I think at my level, it's probably worth it to just stick it out with PT and not try to explore. Like,
Yeah. You
waste time on other characters, but it's definitely considered.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of learning, Optimal is obviously just one trick PT. You're learning a lot of fundies with him because you have 3 different archetypes of a character.
Yeah.
But and like the thing about PT and like why people put him as top 5 is because theoretically he can win every matchup. You know,
Yeah.
even the matchups he does lose, like Young Link, Pikachu, Fox, whoever you want to say he loses to, like he can beat them.
Mhm.
Like none of them are impossible.
It's not like comparing fucking Ganon to Pikachu.
Exactly.
Nothing's like super minus.
Exactly,
2
you
or
know,
any of that bullshit.
he's a type of character that like can beat all of them, and he could technically be a #1 character. But it's like he's put in a situation where like a lot of the time you don't want to have to deal with some of those matchups.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like me, I don't know, I'm a special case because like even in Brawl, I mained so many characters, and then like in Smash 4, throughout the lifetime of Smash 4, I mained about maybe like 10 characters, you know?
Damn.
So I'm used to swapping mid-tournament and stuff like that. So when I
Yeah.
came into Ultimate, I was like, right off the rip, I played MKPT, even
Mhm.
even Inkling, you know?
Yeah.
So like I'm used to swapping between characters and like learning matchups with different characters. So from my point of view, I can't really tell you what would probably be the better choice for you. But
Yeah, I feel that.
solo PT definitely is viable. It is not a
Yeah.
bad choice. It's just harder. You have to put more work into it. Obviously, it's possible. You know, players like Pandarian and Ned have been able to go really far with solo PT.
Yeah, I'm not at like anywhere near that level yet, so I
Yeah,
feel like
but you know what I mean,
sticking
right?
it out with PT is like
Yeah.
probably the move. Like I've considered playing like fucking Rob and shit, who else was it? I don't remember. Rob, I considered Joker for a little bit, just to take care of like the annoying people. But I don't know if it's a good enough time investment because like all of my characters compared to PT, like they're nowhere near as
Yeah.
good, obviously. So
Yeah, I get that.
I'm like, it's not like I'm trying to learn the character. I'm still trying to learn the game. Like I'm not high level yet, where I have a good
Understanding of
understanding
everything.
of the game.
Yeah.
So I think sticking solo is just fine, honestly.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I'll tell you first and foremost, like if you are interested in learning other characters, if you're looking to backup PT, his best backup characters are Wolf and Mario.
Yeah,
Like
I
Wolf
considered
and
both
or
of them
Mario
as
rather.
well.
Just because they cover his matchup spread the best.
Yeah, Mario was a consideration of mine.
Yeah, because it's like Mario does good against the rats. He
He's
does
also
decent
very
against
easy.
like Youngling and stuff. He's alright against zoners. It's hard, but it's alright. He plays very similar to Squirtle, so there's not too much of a learning curve. And again, and like you said, he's quite easy. So he's a good backup. Similar for similar reasons, Wolf. Whereas like Wolf covers every matchup, including zoners, but he struggles with the rats more. So it really depends.
Yeah,
Like me, I'm comfortable with PT versus rats. Like I would rather play PT against rats than any other character in the game against rats. So like to me, the no-brainer pick for a secondary is Wolf. But I just like Joker and MK, so I play them.
yeah.
Yeah, like my character choices are kind of just like I like them from their series, so I main them.
Okay.
But like it turned out Joker was broken, so like alright, sure.
Yeah, lucky pick there.
Yeah, and then like it kind of just came down to like, okay, how am I gonna balance playing who into who? I have a chart of like who I play in every matchup in the game.
Okay.
Some matchups are like depending on the player, you know. So for like Diddy Kong, for example, depending on how the player plays, I'll like to go PT or I'll like to go Joker.
Yeah, that matchup is low key very annoying.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. I've
It's
just
because no one plays Diddy.
yeah, I've played against. I have 3 Diddies in my region, so like 5 in Smash 4. So it's like if someone's gonna know the matchup, it's me. And I played Bayo in Smash 4, so fighting against Diddy as Bayo was like a hellhole, and like I literally think that matchup was 7-3, but the people didn't want to hear it.
I would not know anything about Smash.
Yeah, I'll
started
just
with Bolt.
yeah, I won't go farther on that topic, but I have experience against Diddy, and like I tried against him for years, and then in Ultimate I'm like, hey, you got nerfed. I understand you more now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a tricky character. You just have to really understand his openings and stuff. But yeah. Yeah. So I think solo PT is good.
Yeah, I think that might be what I'm sticking with for now.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, it's hard. I've considered going Rob because I just.
Oh yeah.
It's just not the same game.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah, I mean I say that, but it's like you still have to remember people hate Wi-Fi IV and Wi-Fi Zard.
Yeah, that I like. I've abandoned Squirtle a lot of times on Wi-Fi. Like you can be annoying and run away with him, but it's just I'm not playing the same game, and it's really sad.
Yeah, there are plenty of matches where I'll just start IV on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Like IV or Zard, like Squirtle is useless a lot of times because I can't react.
Yeah.
But what you were showing me before actually made a lot of sense, and like our connection's pretty solid, so I could react to that.
Yeah.
It's just like, honestly, when I say I can't react, like I can't react to like the obvious stuff, but I think it's a lot of like what I'm looking for. Like in those last games, after you were like told me what I like the thing about Squirtle neutral, I'm like I was looking for something specifically. I just think I think I need to pay more attention.
Yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes I like zone out. I don't know what's good, but
Yeah, being open-minded in neutral is really important.
uh-huh.
Because, like, a lot of the time, like I was saying earlier, where like Wi-Fi players will like try and read what's coming next. It's that sort of same idea, but you want to react to it. You know, you want to like be like, okay, he might use this here, but you don't want to like be ready for him to use it. You just want to know that he might use it, and then when you see him starting to use it, that's when you can like react and get out the way. You know, because like if you play any reaction time games, like if you're not expecting something to happen, your reaction time will be very slow.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting it to come up and you're ready for it, your reaction time will be faster.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't know if you've ever played like I don't know whack-a-mole. You know, it's that same kind of concept. If you're not ready for the moles to pop up and down, you're gonna miss them. But if you're ready and you're looking at the hole and they pop up, like you hit them. You know, you're ready.
Yeah.
It's that same sort of concept that like reacting is harder on Wi-Fi, but if you're anticipating things and you're expecting them, it makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah, so always staying open-minded is good for that, because it's like you want to be expecting that one or two moves, but you always want to be open because like he might do a third move that you're not expecting, and you have to be ready for that.
You know what is a situation I find myself in like super often is where like I'll like have gotten off the ledge or I've gotten off the platform and I'll have like especially with like Ivy or Zard, like I have a lot of problems with the fact that you can't like fast fall out of like a tumble or something, and like you have to do a move right before you get to input your fast fall and do like your fast fall air dodge.
Yeah.
Or like I'll have wasted my double jump and I see my opponent, like I'm coming down and I'll see my opponent coming towards me.
Yeah.
Like in that situation, so many times I just feel like I have literally I can't do anything. I'm just gonna get hit. I mean, I guess that's a consequence of wasting all of my stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know. What do you do like let's say you get hit and like you as Ivy and you need to fast fall. I was thinking before, like, do you think it would be smart to up B? I usually nair and like fade away from them, but then that leaves me like they know exactly where I'm gonna be, and that like I don't know. I feel like there's a better option, but nothing's like has less end lag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're, from what I think, like it obviously it depends. Every situation's different, but if you're like really high up, going for up is a great pick for Ivy, because it stalls you in the air. It opens up your fast fall, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's a good pick. Drift off nair is also good if you have your jump, because you can drift off nair and then recover low. You know, that's perfectly fine. Like against Fox, for example, like he's a character that you want to go all the way off to the blast zone and then recover low.
Yeah.
You know, because Fox can't really edge guard you low, but he can up air you if you're high. And like you don't want to land on stage because you're gonna get up aired or grabbed or whatever. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's a character that like just go all the way off stage, take your time to recover, go slowly, and then now play the ledge game. You know. It's like that for most characters actually, where like you can just play the ledge game, and it's a bit hard to get off ledge with Ivy, but it's better than trying to land with him.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of players try to land too much, like on top of their opponent, and that's like literally the worst possible option in a Smash, and like it has been since the innovation of 64. Like landing on top of your opponent is just never a good pick. You know, they can just, if they see you're gonna land empty, they just grab you. If they see you're gonna land while swinging, they just shield grab you. Or whatever, you know. So you don't want to land on top of people or like in their dash range. Like you want to land, if you're gonna land on stage, land far away if it's possible. But majority of the time, just retreat to ledge, try and get off ledge, because you're gonna have a higher chance of getting off ledge than landing after the 5th time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, probably up BF high, Nair's drift is good. Another possibility, it's way more risky, but you can do up air fast fall and kind of just like meteor, you know?
Yeah, that was an option. A friend of mine who's like a slightly or a little bit better PT than I am. He did that one time, and I was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" But it actually worked. So
Yeah, because the IV falls really fast, and like
yeah,
that fast of
definitely
a
beat.
change in momentum like will throw people off sometimes. It's not something that'll
Yeah,
work every time, but it is an option that you can always consider. Like
that's smart.
if you
Yeah.
do like jump fast fall up air, like you can drop really fast.
Mm. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Um, like I'm trying to study more, and like I'm gonna be looking at my VODs. Oh yeah, I was wondering, do you do VOD reviews? Cause
Yep.
like,
Yep.
okay, yeah, I definitely might want to hit you up about that and like see what's good with the prices and all that. But
Yeah, I believe let me check my price just to make sure. Yeah, so for VOD review, it's $10 USD.
okay,
You can send me any best of 3 or 5, and basically I'll record myself watching it, and then I'll
okay,
send it over to you. And
yeah,
I go really, really in depth. Like honestly, there are like I don't want to bloat, but like I feel my prices are super low for how much information I give.
yeah, no, it can be definitely very
Yeah,
valuable. So I'm definitely gonna
like
consider that.
yeah, like I had a VOD review last week where the set itself was 10 minutes long, and he sent me 2 sets, like $20, and
Mm,
each set, when I sent him the video back, each one of them were almost an hour long, the video of me talking over them.
nice.
Because
Okay,
I
yeah,
will literally go over every single interaction, why you got hit, what you could have done better, and why you didn't or did have to go in, you know?
yeah, that's definitely something I'm interested in.
Yeah, and
But
it doesn't even have to be tournament gameplay. It can literally be a quick play match, you know?
yeah, I have a few offline VODs from the fucking locals I'm hosting in my basement for
Yeah.
that I might send over. But for like studying for myself, I was wondering if you know of like any of the like any good resources. Like I feel like it's really hard to find good stuff. I watched what's his face, Mr. Poppet. I think that's his name. His
Oh,
videos are
yeah,
really
Pop Tier. Pop
yeah.
T1,
When I
yeah.
something like that. When I was a bit worse, his videos really were good.
Yeah.
Like as far as combos go, like I learned a lot of the optimal like Squirtle combos at zero and stuff, but I just feel like there aren't a lot of resources besides like actual coaching that I can like watch and sit down and analyze. But I don't know. I figured maybe you might know about something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, the harsh reality is like nowadays I feel like so many top players are so disconnected from the Smash community because they're so like they're held in such high regard that like they kind of forget about low level players and stuff like that. And it's really hard to get advice from experienced people for like a cheap price or even just for free or whatever. And like
Yeah,
they honestly like a lot of top players will just hold their information to themselves and they won't share anything, you know?
yeah, I've seen that. It's
Yeah,
pretty annoying.
it's a problem with today's community, I feel. Because I remember back in Brawl, in, like early Smash 4, you know, like every person was giving out tips. You know, it was like you go on Smash boards and ask something, and like ESAM would reply. You know, like
yeah,
it's crazy. But I don't know. Really, everyone learns in their own way, I feel. Some people learn from watching VODs. Like my sister, she Supergirl Kel, she'll watch VODs and she'll be able to learn an entire matchup just off of watching a couple VODs off of it, you know? And then she'll 3-0 the next person that plays that character.
yeah,
Whereas me, I study a VOD and I fall asleep and learn maybe one thing,
yeah,
you know? Whereas me, I'm more of a player who like I just want to play the matchup and like I'll figure out what I like to do.
yeah. Okay.
Like just fight me, but like if I want to learn Inkling, just put me against 3 different Inklings all day. Like I'll message Inkling players. I'll go on the Inkling Discord or something, and I'll schedule like, okay, you want to play like 2 p.m. You guy play 4 p.m. You play at 6, and I'll do these grind sessions with all of them, and like I'll see different playstyles, and I'll be like, okay, this works against this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So like everyone learns differently, and it's really how you want to gain your information. So
Yeah.
some people like to read guides, some people like to watch videos, some people like to play. Everyone kind of learns in their own way, and there's no real set answer I can give.
Yeah.
But in terms of just resources, I don't know. I know.
A lot.
I saw Smash has like
Oh
his like
yeah,
his like
I watched his stuff.
yeah, he has like
Yeah.
his intro to Smash and stuff like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
I watched some of it and it teaches you like important stuff, but it doesn't
it's a
really.
little basic,
Yeah,
honestly.
I feel like there's not enough resources to tell you how to improve. You know,
Yeah.
because everyone has their own problems to improve, and
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
coaching is such a thing that people do. Is because like I can't like. There's no like if let's say someone asked you like how do I improve? You know, you can't just tell
Yeah,
them an
like
answer.
you can't answer that question.
Yeah, you really have to see how they play, what mistakes they make, and then you can really tell them. You know, so everyone really learns differently, and that's why there's no real guide to it. And sadly, coaching is the only option, and sadly, top players have made it so that coaching needs to be priced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I wish people could offer services for free, but it's kind of, you know,
You can't expect someone
yeah,
to give like a good quality service that they took time to make for free. Totally understand.
exactly. Like I'd
Um,
love to give my stuff for free, but again, it's like
you gotta live your life. You gotta live your life. You gotta
yeah,
feed yourself, man. I
time
feel you.
time out the day and everything like that, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's I respect the grind for sure.
Yeah.
Um, for you personally, like, I feel like I'll like go in training mode sometimes to like keep my movement fresh or move around or do something. But I really like. Do you have anything that you just like any process or any drills or any like thing that you look to do? Like, what's your like process like? If you're like I don't know, like labbing or
Yeah.
I was wondering if you know I can get some insight to anything like that.
Yeah, so when I like really started improving is when I started doing training mode every day before I started playing. And I would take about 30 minutes, maybe more, and I would go over a set like routine. So shit, I don't know if I could find it. I kind of buried it somewhere.
Like a trainer specific one.
Um, it was no, it's kind of just like, hold on, here it is. Yeah, no, it's kind of just like a general character stuff.
Okay.
Can I find it? Shit, sad. Okay. Well,
It's no biggie, but
yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I'll go over. So like, even just running around, literally just
yeah.
wave landing on platforms and stuff is
Mhm.
super helpful.
Just keep yourself fresh.
Yeah, like I'll typically just like walk around, stuff like that, get used to your character's movement, because like I said with Squirtle, for example, like being able to recognize how far you can make it in one dash or like one F tilt, something like that is like really
Yeah.
important, and like
Okay.
having that drilled into your brain is super good. So just general movement I'll typically do for like 2-3 minutes. And then, you know, I'll do typical Squirtle combos against like all the different weights, all the different floatiness, etc. Like I'll do the optimal combos, or attempt to. So like Bowser literally has a combo where you do like down throw, up tilt, up air, nair, and it's like super weird. And then you get like regrab and stuff like that. And he's like the only
Alright.
character it works on. Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
weird.
Usually, I know the optimal one against Joker does like 60, and then Fox it's like down throw, slight walk up tilt, double up air, and then like
Yeah, there's
some
like super
regrabs.
optimal things that like it's good to practice because, you know,
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
my opinion, combos off of like combos that like are super DI dependent and stuff like that, like nah, I don't really care about. You know, you're not gonna land them in a game.
yeah.
Like like I don't know if you know like any like Greninja combos and like stuff like that, like that you post on Twitter, or like, and it'll be
Yeah,
like
no one's
super
hitting those on
lengthy
stage.
and stuff, and it's like that's not gonna
Yeah.
work, you know?
No one's hitting those.
Yeah, or like when that Ganon player, I forget his name, I think it's Biz or something.
MGK.
Yeah, MGK, yeah.
I post all that crazy.
He'll post
shit.
like all these things, and it's like that is super like never gonna happen in a game. Like I'm sorry, you're not trading Wizard's Foot with Inkling Jab and getting an F smash off of it. Like
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, buddy. So it's like I'll go over these combos where I like, okay, off a grab, because you're gonna land a lot of grabs at Squirtle. What can I get? You know, stuff like that. I would typically do about 4 minutes of ledge trumping, 4 to 5 minutes of ledge trumping on both sides of the stage. with
Yeah, it's definitely something I need to use
with
more.
every character, not just because every character is different. Like I'll do it with Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard, Joker, Meta Knight.
Yeah.
And like it's really important to get used to that
Mhm.
because trumping is like people know it's a thing, but people forget it's a thing.
Yeah, literally no one uses it.
Yeah.
And when it does get used against me, I
You
shit
always
the
die
bed.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to use that more.
Yeah, it is
Do you know like
broken.
what options? I feel like with Ivy it's kind of hard. And
Yeah,
like
PT's
even
like
Zard,
PT's weird because you can't really abuse it super hard, but like Squirtle gets like wall jump down air and like stuff like that. Like
okay.
his punish is like super difficult because his like back air is multi hit and they fall out, and
Yeah,
like
everyone's heard of it. It's
and
all
like
red.
Nair they're like basically like barely out of range unless they DI in.
Honestly, even if I don't even try to hit it,
Yeah,
like
just jumping them is scary because they either have to recover high or grab the ledge regrab, you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
So
definitely
yeah,
something I need to do more.
yeah. Ivy, if they DI in on the trump, you can actually get it down air.
Okay.
And if they don't, and they just like DI normally or whatever, you can usually get drop down back air or drop down nair, like jump nair or whatever.
Yeah.
And like if they DI badly, you get nair whip because you trumped them at 40. Congratulations, you got a stock.
Yeah,
Like,
kill them.
yeah. um. So yeah, ledge trumping is like even by practicing it, you'll find windows to use it in game. Because like your brain will recognize like, oh yeah, this is an option, and then like you'll see that people are hanging on ledge too long, or like they're gonna up B and they won't expect you to trump ledge, and then you just do it, and then they die because like they get like Zard tip or Nared for it, or whatever, you know. So just by practicing it, you get it drilled into your brain that it's an option.
Yeah.
I'll do tether cancels with Ivy. I always make sure my Ivy movement's good, because especially me, like I'm an aggressive Ivy, and I always have to make sure my pressure's good. So I make sure my tether cancels are good. Leafing off of tether cancel, jump fairing off of tether cancel.
Yeah, your tether cancel movement was actually pretty good. I need to do more with that.
Yeah. Even just Squirtle, you know, wave landing on platforms, getting used to like jump on a platform fair, jump under the platform fair, kind of like I was showing you with Zard. Squirtle can do the same thing with fair. And like getting used to that timing, you know. So there's that. You can also practice parrying. I do that.
Yeah.
I'll have like Falco spam laser like in training mode, or I'll have like MK or whatever, like really strong F smashes that are actually used. So like MK, Greninja, Sonic, you know, like F smashes that are actually like people actually use, not like fucking Sheik F smash in neutral. Like no one cares about that.
Yeah.
Like the actual notable F smashes, like you can hop in training mode, try and parry them, because sometimes it can't come in, and like you can parry them and actually try and get a combo off of it. So you get used to like parrying it and getting a punish. Even if it's just a grab, just getting comfortable with the frame advantage is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it on rats, Thunder Jolt, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely need to parry like the stupidly big F smashes that like push you back and then give you 7 years of shield stun. Like I'm tired of not being able to punish shit like that.
Yeah.
My parries are pretty solid though. When it comes to multi hits, like I'm clueless, but if it's just like if it's like a sex kick or like something like that, I'm usually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
So yeah, there are a bunch of things to lab. So like, there's general movement. There's even stuff that you can practice, like just sliding F2 with Squirtle.
Yeah, make sure everything's clear.
Yeah, C bouncing Razor Leaf. It's like unpractical on GameCube, but if you practice it, and, like, yeah, or like I guess it's the same thing as wave bouncing in this game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Smash 4 it's called C bouncing, but
what are you talking about?
yeah, because in Smash 4 you have to do it with C stick, so like people call it C bouncing, but in this game it's possible to not do it, so people renamed it to wave bouncing like it was in Brawl.
Wait, is it easier to do it with the C stick?
I do. I still do it with C stick, but like that's because I play claw, so I have like my I have like my thumb on C, and then like I have my index on A with like my, like I don't know. I'm super everything's all messed up.
That is an interesting way to hold your controller. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just played the normal,
Yeah, for sure. That's
and
that's
my
yeah. I only
my
play like that
R is
because like when I was a
awesome.
kid, I played shooter games on console, and like that was like the optimal way. So I just like
Yeah.
got used to that, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Um,
think I think I'm gonna stick with the way I hold mine.
yeah.
It's
Don't
too
even
hard
don't
to.
stress about that. Yeah. Yeah. That's like the most. It's like mostly what I could say about like warming up or whatever. It's really
Mhm.
just finding
Yeah.
your own routine, like things you want to work on. You know, some people don't even want to work on movement because they think their movement's good, and they'll just work on combos.
Mhm.
Whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I know some people just want to work on wall jumps. Some people, you know, work on new ways to get off the ledge. Bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's different. So
Mhm. Okay.
yeah, so I'll probably only answer one or two more questions if you have any.
Uh, I guess matchup specific. What do I do about Wario? Because
Mm,
I have like a good Wario that I'm friends with and I play often. He's like pretty high level. Maybe I mean, last tournament, which was yesterday, I beat him in losers. He beat me in winners. But like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm approaching the matchup correctly. The way I do it is like my take on it is Wario is winning no matter what because like if you're just standing there and playing neutral because he's charging waft and like I'm trying to kill him as soon as possible and always approaching even if I'm up stocks because I don't want him to get waft, but I don't know if that's the right way to handle it
Hmm.
because I might get blown up for approaching Wario.
Yeah.
But and like Wario can't really approach me, but he has waft, which is my problem. Like I don't know what to do about that conceptually. So
Yeah.
just wondering how you approach Wario, like the matchup.
Yeah. Um, Wario's a matchup that like even me I don't like as a player. Like I just don't like the idea of Wario.
Yeah, I know what I'm
Um, but I mean, what I could say as PT at least is like he the biggest issue with Wario is his range, of course. You know,
Yeah.
he's a character similar to Squirtle where like he can't really get in and he kind of just wants you to approach him and then you mess up and you get nared.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so not giving him what he wants is really good. Even if you're just waiting around and he's getting waft, him, like, you have to keep in mind a lot of the way he's gonna start his combos for waft are like off of up air, like falling up air, nair, and like maybe the drill down air, you know,
Yeah.
and like up tilt.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of those don't hit Squirtle at all.
Yeah. That's
And
fair.
yeah, playing Squirtle when he has waft is like really good. Because in my eyes, you're gonna die regardless of what character you play.
Yeah, that's
You know,
definitely true.
you're dying on Zard at 20. Like it's dumb, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, like accepting that fact and just playing Squirtle at kill percents is like when he has waft is like okay. Like honestly,
Yeah.
against Wario, the mental is like you kind of have to forget he has waft. You know,
Okay.
because like a lot of people will be so scared of waft and will like be like, oh shit, I'm gonna die at 20, and then they like make a mistake and they get nared and they die.
Mm.
But it's like you have to remember that it's still a game and like he still has to punish your mistakes. So you have to like he can't just waft raw, you know. He has to find a mistake and punish it. So if you
Yeah.
just like really stay focused and like play properly, um, then he shouldn't be able to be comboing you super hard. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously it happens. I mean, Mario's a good character for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing Squirtle in waft percent is really important. But outside of waft percent, I think Squirtle can combo Wario pretty hard, and it's hard for him to hit Squirtle, which is good. But
Yeah.
even Ivysaur and Zard outrange him like crazy.
Yeah. Like, if you took Waft away from Wario, like
This matchup's actually
GTFO,
like 80-20.
it's 80-20 or some shit like that.
Yeah, like yeah.
I just don't know. I guess like I mean honestly, the Wario that like I'm referring to will go back and forth. But like if I don't have a lead, I'll probably lose because Wario just snowballs that way. I'll try your method where I try to forget Wath, in like friendlies, I guess, and like serious friendlies, and see what happens.
Yeah.
And maybe even bracket if what I'm usually doing isn't working out, and see if that is more optimal.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like obviously don't forget it exists because you're gonna die, but
Yeah,
like try and keep it
Yeah,
at the
I
back
know
of
what
your
you mean.
head. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
Like don't focus on it too hard
yeah, okay,
because it just makes you play bad. You know? It's
Yeah,
like when you're playing Zard at 150 and like you feel powerful, right? Because you kind of forget that you're kill percent, but like you realize you're rated Zard.
Mhm.
But if you're playing Squirtle at 150, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna die, and then you make a mistake and you blow up. You know?
Yeah,
It's the same
okay.
kind of it's the same kind of concept.
Yeah, I got you.
All I can say for Wario is just don't let him have Smashville or Triplats. This is the one matchup where I will ban Battlefield and Smashville.
Yeah, Smashville I very much do not fuck with when it comes to Wario.
Yeah.
And Battlefield I don't keep it. I don't ban it. I don't think in comparison to.
Yeah, like I mean, you could leave it
Actually, I
open.
might. No, I think I do. Yeah, I'm not too stressed about leaving it open because I think we do okay on that stage. But
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
depends on the stage list, honestly.
Yeah, like you don't need to ban it. But it's
Like if
definitely like
Unova's legal, I'm banning Unova.
yeah, 100%.
Shit
Like
like that.
luckily we're good on Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
So you can afford to leave it open, but of course he will get combo extensions if he hits you. You know, he will get an error
Yeah.
into 4-uppers.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's like the main idea for Wario is just stay patient, don't get mad, because he is stupid, and honestly, watch for him mashing, because like they'll sometimes get really like antsy, especially when they have waft. Yeah, they get very antsy when they have waft and stuff, and you can often find like holes in their play.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any last words or questions?
No, that's pretty much it. I think I don't know. I think I might go through like one or two more of my like basement weeklies and try and find a VOD that I really want to be picked apart and like collect them over the next coming weeks or whatever.
Yep.
And then I'll come to you with them. Really appreciate the extra 53 minutes of talking. Definitely really homey of you.
Yeah, it's no issue. Honestly, like PT, I could talk about forever. Like,
Yeah, I feel that.
like it is a character that I literally have so much love for, and I don't mind sharing information about.
Mad respect.
Yeah, because I feel you, honestly. Like, there's so many people where I'll play them for an hour, and there's not much to tell them except, like, just get better. And then there's some people, like you, for example, where it's like, I see potential, and it's like, I want to give you the information, and you're hungry for information, you're asking questions, and it's like, why would I not just, like, stay here and tell you? Like, I have time. It's fine.
I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
Once the Twitch paycheck comes in, I might hit you up for another session.
No problem, bro. No problem.
Definitely appreciate it, homie.
All right.
You've been great. Appreciate all the help.
Cool. So we'll keep in touch. If you also have any questions, by the way, don't mind like DMing me or anything like that. Like I'm always open to general questions about a matchup or anything.
Yeah. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. Have a good night, my friend.
Yeah, you too, man. I'll talk to you in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, so that was that. I'll be ending the recording now. We went way over 1 hour, but I was very happy with him. I'm more than happy only receiving the pay for 1 hour, even though I basically gave him 2 hours. So that was that. That was the coaching with Pecco today on October 11th. Went from 8. It was scheduled 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. We went all the way to 9:57. It happens. So thank you, GameSensed, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.